Hello, everyone. Welcome to Career Mantras, the channel where we discuss the mantras for a successful career. In today's session, we will discuss about the topic that has been lingering in my mind for a very long time. Is long-term career possible in IT industry? This is one topic where many people have approached me in my office and also in my previous company of how do we ensure that we have a long-term career in IT. Let's see some of the basics in that. Well, the IT industry started somewhere in the early 1980s with TCS starting before that. Essentially, TCS, Infosys, Wipro, and CTS started somewhere in the 80s. And with the liberalization, the scene exploded. And somewhere in the late 1990s, it exploded further. It had a brief pause period during the 2K and the 2008 financial crisis. But for almost 30 to 40 years, we have been recruiting at a staggering pace. With the post-COVID, we had a few layoffs, but still, some of the bigger companies have started recruiting from colleges again. But the question is, we have hired so many engineers in the past 40 years. Fast forward to their careers. Do we need so many managers, directors, and vice presidents? For example, if I need one manager for every 10 people, if I hired 2 lakh people in the past, let's say 10 years, out of which, let's say, even 1 lakh people will be engineers, will I scale to 10 lakh in the next 10, 15 years? Will the IT industry allow such a growth? We really don't know. Looks like it wouldn't. But at the same time, there is an upside. The number of companies after liberalization have increased in India. So that's a positive thing. Even if you can't grow in one company, you can find a spot in some other company. It's an upside. But again, if you consider industry as a whole and put a pyramid of junior to senior folks, would we need so many senior people at the top? Probably not. And my guess is that people who joined before 2010 may have a 25 to 30-year-old career at max as a median, I can say. But people who join after that, it's going to be very tough. So, what are some of the options to have a long-term career? Option one. Again, this is based on my experience and what I've observed, and things could change drastically in the few years. You should earn fast. The first option is you should earn fast and retire at 45, meaning maybe you work not in India but abroad for 10, 15 years, amaze a lot of crores, and then come back and then Aram say you can do something like a freelance consulting so that there is no financial pressure on you. Second, in companies like TCS, where you can have a very slow growth, both in terms of your salary and also in terms of your position, you can be a manager even at the age of 45 and not be a director, not earn so much. You can just be satisfied with a 20 lakh or 22 lakhs at 45. And then finish your career to 50 and 55 so that you have a good health coverage and also decent salary and also a secure job. That could be a second way you can handle this. Third is little more, I wouldn't say risky, but daring, right? You have to analyze what differentiates yourself uniquely as a combination of what domain knowledge you have, what tech knowledge you have, what strategic knowledge you have. You have to write down that how you are going to differentiate yourself in your current company or and in the outside market. That comes to the last 2 points. At any point in your career, it is important to differentiate how you are going to be different from your peers internally in your company, right? Will you be known as a person who is very good in strategy, or will you be known as a person who is excellent in doing fixed bid projects, or will you be in a person who is excellent in legacy modernization or cloud modernization and all that? And at any point in time, your company may do layoffs even if you're performing well. So always keep in mind how your current skills and positioning and the value you generate is relevant externally. How can you find it out? Well, one way I've seen people do is give some interviews every 3 years and then find out what is your salary and salary positioning, and also speak to your peers to know how it works out. One thing I've not mentioned is that you can also be an entrepreneur, but that requires a different kind of risk that you have to take up. Okay, so finally, this is not an easy road going forward. It is going to be tough, but if you follow a few aspects, probably as a summary, uh, you can probably sail it through. One, the thing which you should not do is do some random courses on ChatGPT or data science and think that your career is saved. It will not save you. Ensure that you work out your unique path based on the company you work with and the industry you are in and what is valuable and what interests you. These ikigai kind of intersection is necessary for a long-term career. And this might sound silly. Even if you're 40, please watch out for your peer groups. Your peer groups may pull down a lot, may bring in a veil of feeling secure, but that doesn't help. Any group that is just a coffee going group that laments a lot, that doesn't have any kind of goals or achievement targets is useless and you should avoid them. Even if you're 40, yes. And take incremental risks that in your current project or your current account, which builds your risk muscle. As you get confidence to take more risk, at some point in time in your career, you can take a bigger risk. And the, unlike in the old way where you can sit in the ivory tower and manage projects, you can no longer do that. You have to be a little bit hands-on, understand what's happening in the project, in the program, in the account, and the industry, and then mix it with your strategic and managerial aspects. Yeah, hands-on at some level. It need not be you should code, but at some level it's necessary. Yes, if you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to Career Mantras. I strongly believe it is going to be a strong uproad for us. But if we have our basics right in terms of having a unique path differentiating ourselves, I do feel a lot of us can have a long-term career, although I can't say that everybody will have a long-term career. Thank you.